When your book first came out, it did upset a few people. One of them, Bill Gates, who accused the book, and I quote, of promoting evil. Where did that come from, do you think? Were you expecting that kind of reaction? And have you ever spoken to him about it?
I have spoken to Bill Gates. He and I had a wonderful lunch. I think, like most things in life, there's nuance in these arguments. I think that, and what do I mean? I think that there is a place for aid for sure. But my argument, and in fact, in that book, for people who read it, they will know I was very clear that there is a place for aid. Even developed countries, in the UK, for example, they rely on charitable donations. Organizations rely very much on some kind of outreach from non-traditional sources. So I was very clear. But what I did have an issue with was the type of policy that had been encouraged in Africa, systemic aid, which had not delivered the economic growth that we were looking for. And so I think in terms of thinking about what works, clearly aid programs that are short, sharp, and finite have a good record. What I'm worried about are the open aid programs that leave countries incredibly vulnerable, as we're seeing now in COVID, at a time when the donors are very stretched themselves. So there was a meeting of the minds on some things with Mr. Gates in terms of, what is the definition of a public good? Something like healthcare, and again, it's quite apropos given the pandemic. But if we believe that healthcare is actually a global public good and not a sort of local public good, then yeah, maybe we do need to provide aid, whether it's COVAX to fight COVID or through the global funds, some of the global funds that have been established. So there was definitely a meeting of the minds. Did I like his language? No, and I made that very clear to him in person and also in writing. I think that those types of narratives are very dangerous. They lead to the types of schisms that we're seeing in the United States and to some extent in the UK in terms of political discourse that breaks down. He and I want the same thing. We want Africa to be successful. And so we might come at it from different views, but I think that there's no need to use disparaging language or ad hominem attacks. And so, c'est la vie, we move on. And as I said, I try to focus on the constructive. We want the same thing. We want good outcomes. We want society to progress. And so we may have differences in how that might happen, but no need for teardowns.
Did he apologize to you?
In a manner of speaking. I'm not entirely sure Bill Gates apologized. No, actually, I don't think he did apologize. Maybe he does owe me an apology.